that show. From the chalked up lines to the roaring stands, every dugout story living in our hands. Cody calls the count, Chris breaks down the play, talking dirt and glory every single day. The golden broom, we're sweeping through the season. Every swing, every slide, every reason. On Villains Media, we bring the fire and the laughter. Proud college baseball backers, the golden broom. Yeah, we're sweeping ever after. Walk-off nights, Sunday sweeps, bus ride tales that the scoreboard keeps.
Welcome in to the Golden Broom Podcast. I am your host, Cody Slavinsky, joined as always by Vandy Chris, and tonight we have a very special guest, Mr. Xavier Turner, former Vanderbilt third baseman who has written a new book called Broken to Built, which, by the way, I read it. It is fantastic, and we're going to discuss that tonight on the show. So, Xavier, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you guys first and foremost for having me. Just want to give all the credit to God, and I'm excited for this, man. Excited to talk about my book and my journey and my story. But again, thank you guys for everything.
Absolutely.
So, what we like to do when we do an interview, very simple process, right? So, for people who don't know who Xavier Turner is, introduce yourself to the world. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you came from and what you've done in life.
Yeah. So my name is Xavier Turner. I'm 32 years old. I was born August 24th, 1993. I'm from Sandusky, Ohio. I was fortunate enough to be blessed with gifts to play baseball at a high level. I played down at Vanderbilt from 2012 to 2015. I won a national championship in 2014. I was drafted out of high school, then drafted again out of college, and played a few years in pro ball. Had some ups and downs as we'll talk about as we get into the book and things like that. Got away from the game and started doing coaching and training and things like that. And I've been doing that for the last 8 years now. So I'm currently living in Dayton, Ohio, and I'm a part of an amazing organization, a Christian-based baseball organization called P413, stands for Philippians 413, and that's what I do now. So, and I'm a high school coach, assistant coach, first year at Dayton Christian High School. So that's what I'm pretty much doing now, just giving back to the community and the kids and things, living for them,
I love it. So let me ask you this. Going from player to coach through your journey, what has been the toughest part to adjust to a new move like that?
Yeah, definitely the toughest part. It's not tough anymore, but the toughest part was definitely just being able to adapt to different kids. I came into training, and when I got done playing, like trying to teach everyone like they were me. Everyone's not the same size. They might not be physically gifted in areas and things. So that was kind of frustrating. Kids weren't responding to me, and then it was just a lot of frustration going on. So I think that was the biggest adjustment, just learning and understanding that every kid is different and every kid needs to be talked to differently. They're not, it's not like how we grew up back in the day. Like, it's a different generation now. So just being able to adapt to the kids, man.
I like that.
Okay. So, you're able to play baseball at a high level. At what age did you know that you had a talent that could carry you someplace beyond your home?
Well, I guess I didn't know. If I had to look back now, I would say around like the age of like 8 and 9, I was playing up. Always played up a couple of years. Of course, I didn't know that at that age, but I think that was the year when I look back, like I knew I was special. I was able to handle 2 years older kids and things like that. I batted in the top of the lineup. I was just really gifted and special the way that I moved and things like that. So about 8 or 9, I can definitely tell like I was different. Didn't know that I had a chance to go as far as I did and things like that, but I knew I could do something special.
Okay.
Okay.
So I know one thing you point out in your book, like when you were a kid, you didn't get compliments when you were playing
Mhm.
baseball. And that's something you
Mhm.
want. And trust me, I been there, understand that.
No, yeah.
When you got that Kent State offer in eighth grade,
Hmm.
what was it like at home when you got that offer?
I mean, honestly, it was just like it was nothing, man. Like, I didn't understand and know how like amazing that was. It was just like I don't know. I just felt like it was supposed to happen. Like it's just part of the process. Honestly, like didn't really have any
Mhm.
feels. It wasn't celebrated or anything. We didn't really have social media for stuff like that or anything
Sure.
like that. So
Mhm.
so like honestly, it was just like it is what it is kind of thing. Like it sounds crazy, but like kind of just like okay, like what's
I
next?
got
You
you.
know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I get that. Because I mean, when
No,
you're
yeah.
that age, I mean, you're what, 13, 14 years old. I mean,
Right.
college probably isn't even on your mind at that point.
No, not at
So
all.
yeah,
Yeah. No,
I
not at
got
all.
you.
Yeah.
So after that offer, what other schools reached out right after that?
So after that offer, really, I was just talking to a lot of the MAC schools, and then like going into like my freshman sophomore year, that's when like Power Four schools were like more like Big Ten baseball schools and stuff like that. And then I actually like in the book, I committed to Ohio State my
Mm,
sophomore year. So like it started off like mid majors, and then like eventually got into like some of the Power Fours and some of the bigger schools and things like that.
okay, so when you committed to Ohio State, at that point, like, was it because they were the biggest school to offer you at the time, or did you like just really fall in love with Ohio State?
I'm a diehard Buckeye man. That's just like
Okay,
a
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. I'm a Buckeye fan, man. So it was just like I'm going like Ohio State, like it's a no brainer at the time. And at the time I didn't really realize like how special I was. You know what I mean? So I didn't think that I was better than Ohio State. I'm not gonna say I was better than, but I didn't think I can do any better than Ohio State when it came
Sure.
to offer. I thought that was just like my ceiling, Ohio State. And of course, like I said, I'm a Buckeye fan, so that was a no-brainer. Like, you know what I mean? Close to home as well, but get to wear that scarlet and gray. So I just wanted to honor that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So the offer for Vanderbilt comes in. You see Tim Corbin, in 2007 with David Price and that group of individuals.
Hmm.
How did it make you feel as a player when they reached out and offered?
So that whole process was kind of crazy. So I went to a camp with Tyler Beatty. So Tyler Beatty and I were
Okay.
really, we're real good friends still to this day. But we played summer ball like when we were 13, 14 out in Southern California for a team out there. But Beatty was already, I don't know if he was committed to Vandy, but I mean, he's a first rounder, so he was already on their radar. So I actually went to a camp my freshman year. I wasn't committed, and I thought I did pretty well, but didn't know how good I did. And then kind of had some conversations with Corbs, and then of course, like after that sophomore year, I didn't hear anything from Vandy, so I'm like maybe I'm not good enough. So that's when Ohio State came, and then I committed to Ohio State. Then I decommitted from Ohio State, and then like we'll talk about with the Canes and stuff. I got out there back on the in the summer and things with the Canes, and then like had a great summer, and then like that's when all the schools were coming. Then Vandy, they started coming back around. I think Corbs just wanted to see me play more. Just didn't a kid from Sandusky, Ohio, so kind of just wanted to see more, but not knowing that. So I'm thinking like they're not interested or anything like that. So after I decommitted, they came back around, and like I said, I got to give a lot of thanks to Walter Beatty, Mr. Beatty, and Tyler for
Mm-hmm.
just putting me in that position to be seen. And then like I said, once I decommitted, and Corbs and them came back around, and it was a no brainer. I think we have 3 official visits. I went down to the U. And then Vandy was my second one. Then like third one, I was supposed to go to LSU, but it wasn't even no need to do that after I left Vandy. It was just a no brainer.
Yeah, so I remember when you decommitted actually, because I've always been a big like recruiting guy, and I am an
Yeah.
LSU fan.
Uh
And
huh.
on the message boards, everybody was like, "He's coming, he's coming, he's going to come visit, he's coming. This is a done deal." And then when you committed to Vandy, everybody just was like,
Yeah.
but
Wow, that's crazy.
hearing it from you though, it makes a lot of sense though.
No, yeah, definitely. And like even just looking back at that, like if I can give any advice to any kid that's going through that process, like don't rush it. I would take all 3. You just never know. Like
Yeah,
I don't know what LSU, what it could have been, but I wish you know what I mean. But I'm not regretting because Vandy's to me is the best thing that ever happened in my life. It was a
Sure.
great decision, but it just means just like what if, you know what I mean? So like, don't rush the process and then trust it and just take advantage of it. You know what I mean? You don't get that. I can't go back and get that last visit to LSU. So like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just enjoy it while you're doing it.
Well, speaking of that, what if? So in your book, you kind of talked about a what if, like what if you would have signed with the Royals out of high
Right.
school? So I know obviously you can't reverse time and change that, but what do you think would have gone differently in your life had you had made that decision early?
Mhm.
Oh my God, man. Close to $1 million as a 17, 18-year-old kid that didn't come from anything like that. You know what I mean? It's coming from
Mhm.
where I came from. It wouldn't have been good. Who knows? Like kind
Sure.
of kind of don't even want to go down that road to think about, you know what I mean? What if? So like I think I actually made the right decision. And I know I talk about the what ifs, but like to me, like now that I look back like that, it wouldn't have went well for me, just because I was very immature at that age, and just like I said, like having that much money and that type of status, like my head was already big. You couldn't tell me anything, so like that probably would have
Sure.
just made it worse, yeah. But no, yeah, though, yeah. So like everything happens for a reason, though. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
yeah, so I'm just grateful and thankful for it, though.
So you talk about being on top of the world, going to college and playing baseball and uh, doing that, being offered at Vanderbilt.
Hmm.
Of course, you didn't know at the time what Mookie Betts was going to turn into as a player.
Right.
But to know that he publicly calls out now that the reason he didn't go to Vanderbilt is because he didn't think he was good enough to beat you for position. How does that make you feel today, looking back at that and where he's at today?
Hold up, wait, say that again. So Mookie said what?
He said he couldn't go to Vanderbilt because he couldn't beat you out for the position.
You as in like me?
Yes.
Oh, I never knew that. Wow. That means a lot. You know what I mean? Because like you said, you look now, like he's a top 5 player in the league. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
just at the time, man, I tell kids this all the time. Like I don't regret anything about my career, but I just wish I really would have understood and took advantage of being at Vanderbilt. So I
Hmm.
didn't really understand, like I didn't know any of that stuff, man. Like I didn't know how people felt about me. Like I knew I was good, but when you're going in the same class and you got Swanson and you got Tony Kemp and you're looking at these dudes like am
Yeah.
I good enough to even be here? So like what I mean? Like I was just still second guessing my talent and myself, even on Vandy. Even after the All American year, I still was second guessing and things like that. But like that means a lot to me, man. I didn't even know that, but that means a lot. And like I said, I just wish I would have understood the opportunity I had in front of me when I was at Vanderbilt.
Hmm.
So one thing that you pointed out in the book was really a culture shock when you got to Vanderbilt.
Right.
Obviously, it's very different.
Yes.
So, and I know really that I guess essentially was a kind of a start to I guess the downhill feel for you in
Hmm.
terms of just like your mood or whatever.
Hmm.
What I mean, like, what was that really like when you stepped on campus for the first time? Because I know your first week you said you wanted to go home.
Yeah, definitely. Man, it's a different world down there, man. Like how like it's like a movie. Like I'm stepping into a movie. I don't know if you like just watch like the old basketball movies when they're on like campuses like USC, but it just felt like I was in a movie. Like
Hmm.
I was not prepared for that environment, but I was prepared to adapt in any type of environment, if that makes sense. But
Hmm.
that type of environment, it was just like I said, it was just different. I haven't been around, that many kids that first and foremost is a PWI. So just stepping into a PWI as one
Yeah.
of the only African Americans on campus. So that right there was already a culture shock. But just like kids driving around in Lexuses, BMWs, and everything about it was just different. But like I said, like once I tried to adapt to it as much as possible, but I just wasn't prepared for like certain things inside the culture. But I was able to adapt and find a way to fit in, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Hmm.
sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, because it makes you wonder too when you're reading it. Because I mean, you said straight up like you were broke. It was
Yeah.
hard, to get by. Like, had NIL been a thing back then, I
Oh
mean, it'd
Jesus.
been totally different.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Because I mean, with your standing, I mean, obviously you're a highly touted prospect. I mean, getting All American when you're there. I mean, you're going to have people wanting to invest in you. I mean, it is truly a shame when you have to hear a story and then you're like, you see what it is now, and it's like, why couldn't it have always been that way?
No, yeah, 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 man. With that, I'm just happy for the ones that's taking advantage and getting paid now. Like, what I mean, I do
Mhm.
feel like some type of way, but like at the same time, I'm like, I was one of those guys that had to go through whatever it was for them to okay the NIL now. So I feel like, I did something as well, but like I'm just happy for them now that they are able to get paid for their names and different things like that, man. So it's a blessing for everyone that's able to take advantage of the NIL. Like it's extremely a blessing. Like I said, I'm truly happy. I'm truly happy for everyone that's able to get paid. They deserve it, man. Like I don't think people
Mhm.
really understand, especially just at a school like Vanderbilt, man. Like it's school first. Like don't get it twisted.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's not school, like it's no baseball. Like class checkers and like Corbs is on that stuff. Like that's one thing that I really respect him about. Like man, like you got to do this first before you get this. Like baseball was just like extra activity. Like you have to earn everything. Even just from us being on first day on campus and wearing white t-shirts with black shorts and black Nike socks. Like we didn't come in there with Vanderbilt gear and stuff. Like we weren't walking around on campus with Vanderbilt gear. Like we had to earn that stuff and things like that. So I'm truly, blessed and grateful for that.
So let's let's take a journey to Omaha. It's 2014. Vanderbilt's in the College World Series. They
Mhm.
were there in 2011. It was one of the final four teams. Did you feel pressure already when you got to Omaha, or was it something that built up as you were playing? The further you got there.
Pressure is not a thing, man. When you're at Vanderbilt, like once that's one thing that I was great at. Once I was on the field, like I was amazing. But it was just like once I left the field, you know what I mean? But like pressure wasn't a thing, man. When I talk about preparation and being prepared for that moment, like we prepared for that moment 6, 7 months before that. So like when we got out to
Okay.
Omaha, it was like this is like a playground. Like this is amazing. Like it felt like the Little League World Series out there. Like just ready. Like we knew that we deserved to be there, and like there was no stopping us. Like we believed in each other, man. But like there wasn't any pressure at all. It was actually I was free. It's probably the freest I played all year. You know what I mean? Like because you play like you grind all off season and you play 60 some games just to get to Omaha. Not saying this because we got to Omaha we were satisfied, but it's like we got here, like we're here, like be free, like you know what I mean. What can happen?
Hmm.
So like there wasn't any pressure. We were trained with speakers, like we couldn't hear. Just getting prepared for 60,000 people in the stand. So like we were very prepared for that. So like you'll just trust my training at that point, man.
Okay.
Gotcha. So obviously, you got to play 2 games in Omaha, and
Hmm.
then the news happened.
Hmm.
So kind of walk us through the behind the scenes on that. Like I know you took the
Yeah.
test before y'all had to go, then you have to get
Mhm.
called into the room and talk to like what was it like?
Yeah, yeah, it was man, it was tough, brother. Like uh so like I mean we'll start at the super regionals. We'll start at the regionals, how it all just panned out. Like we just walked off against Oregon. We beat them to go into the super regionals. Once we beat them, like we did what like 20, 19-year-olds and 21-year-olds would do in college. It was a lot of momentum. Like we celebrated, you know what I mean? So like after that, it was probably like about 10 of us that were doing things using marijuana at the time, and
Hmm.
drinking and things like that. But so we were partying, whatever, man. And then like we actually weren't supposed to host. So like Stanford went up to Indiana and beat Indiana. So that means we got to host the super regional. So who knows if Indiana would have won and we'd have went up to Indiana, probably would have never got drug tested. But I don't know how that stuff works. But so Stanford ended up beating them, and we ended up hosting the Super. So Stanford comes to us, and then we beat Stanford. I think we 2-1 or maybe 2-0, whatever that was. But then after we beat them, the celebration, dog pile, and everything, I get in my locker, and then like Xavier Turner, like you got to take a drug test. So like I knew, you know what I mean. There's nothing I can do at this point. You know what I mean? I just went to go take the drug test, and then I knew it was going to give me like a week or two before it came back. So be able to go out to Omaha. Got out to Omaha, went through everything. You know, we played a couple of games, beat Louisville, beat UC Irvine. Then we had an off day, and then I think that was maybe a Thursday, getting ready to play on a Friday. So this is the week after the test or whatever. So I was just honestly deep inside, down inside, man. I was just waiting for the news. I knew what it was going to be. Like I said, we're getting ready to play Texas, like literally, man. And Corbs calls me to his room. Corbs and Miss Maggie, his wife, and I knew what it was about. Then it was just they told me. Sad moment. It's a very sad moment. You know, we shared tears, but it was more so like hurt versus no, like it wasn't embarrassment or anything, but it was just like everyone was just hurt. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
had to go talk to the team after that. They were in the classroom getting ready to go over scouting reports and stuff. Had to address them about the situation. That was probably one of the toughest things I ever done in my life. It was tough, man. Very emotional. You know, I had some people crying and things like that on top of myself. And then from there, man, it was just like, gotta go. Like I couldn't be around. I had to get back on a plane and go back to Nashville, unfortunately. But it was tough though, man. Like it was very tough. But I'm proud of myself for getting through that. I'm thankful for Corbs and Miss Maggie for not allowing me to walk through that by myself. I'm thankful for my
Hmm.
teammates for going out there and winning the national championship, of course. But I'm thankful for them and the support and things like that. But yeah, like I said, it was tough though, man. But like I said, I'm thankful for every moment.
So when you got back to Nashville, I know you said that you didn't watch the games.
Yeah,
So have you ever gone back and watched the games years
yeah,
later?
of course.
Okay.
No, yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
good,
yeah.
good, good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that was a must. That was a must. I think I maybe watched the last inning when it was when Norwood hit the bottom of the eighth or top of whatever that was when Norwood hit the go ahead home run. So I think I was
Yep.
watching the last couple of innings of that and things like that. So I did get to see that, and I did get to see him dog pile, and then that's when emotions hit very crazy, and then like started crying and started just doing things that I probably shouldn't have did after I seen the dog pile, but I just felt so like upset with myself and embarrassed, and I feel like I just let down the whole Vanderbilt nation and things like that.
Yeah.
So a lot of the reports on that day were that Maggie had escorted you back to Nashville. What did it mean to you to have her with you at that time to be that person to support you and get you through that trip back to Nashville?
No, definitely. Like Miss Maggie and Corb, like, they're my second set of parents. So, like I said, they didn't let me go through that alone. Like she did not have to leave the Omaha, the World Series to do that. You know what I mean? But she made sure that she was by my side because I was hurt. I was broken.
Hmm.
Just can't really explain like how I felt, but like I'm just so grateful for it. Even just still till today, like they're still a part of my life, and like it's still the same love, and like they mean the world to me. Like I'm just super grateful for them. Yeah, I just can't words can't really explain like what that meant to me, but I'm just thankful that they didn't let me go through that moment alone because if I was alone, like who knows, like you know what I mean. So like I'm just super thankful for both of them.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And along with that, you had a teammate in
Hmm.
2014, Philip Pfeiffer.
Hmm.
Um, we know that he was suspended for the season, and he had some issues that he was working through. He
Hmm.
credits with Coach Corbin with saving his life.
Hmm.
How did it make you feel that they talked about his story and the support that Corbin was giving him to get through his issues, and you not being able to talk publicly about your issues?
See, well, that's where some mistakes and issues may go. But first and foremost, just to answer your first part, like Philip Pfeiffer, still to this day, man, he's my brother. So like, anytime you get
Hmm.
to see somebody overcome something like that and get back out there and perform the way that he performed, and I think got drafted in the third round. Like, I could be nothing but happy for that guy, man. And
Hmm.
you know what I mean? Like, we spent a lot of time together, and so we got to build a great relationship. But I'm just nothing but happy for that guy, man. Like, I love that guy to death, bro. But I think that's the thing, like. Yeah, he was getting help, but like Cord was doing things with myself as well, but it was just behind closed doors. And I think it was just more so of me, my pride, and like everything that I talk about in the book, just like not being able to like express myself and like open up and things like that. So like Corbs they were doing the same thing for me as well, but I was just
Mhm.
more distant and to myself. I wasn't really taking advantage of the help. Pfeiffer did what he was supposed to get back on the field. It was really that simple, and I didn't do what I needed to get back on the field.
Okay, that's a fair answer. I can't expect a more fair answer than that, right?
All right. So Vanderbilt career, you're officially done. You go into the draft. You get
Mhm.
drafted. What was it like to get that call? I guess it kind of felt like a little bit of redemption. It's like, here we go, fresh start.
No, yeah.
Like, so how did all that feel?
Oh man, so actually, I gotta give Corb some credit for this because going into the draft, he set me down because I could have came back from my senior year
Mhm.
at Vanderbilt and things like that, but I was just like stuck in my ways, man, and just like I already had my mind up. But Corbs warned me about everything that I went through in pro ball for the bad. Like he tried to warn me about everything. Of course, me not listening. Like he's been doing this for 30. Some he has first rounders coming out every year. So if anybody knows, it's him. But he actually like step by step told me how pro ball was going to be. And so I wasn't listening. I was ready to get into a new environment, start something new, get my professional career started. And
Hmm.
it's like when you're going through the draft, there's a difference between pay from junior year versus senior year. You know what I mean? And then like me even just like not playing my whole junior year and still being able to make some decent money. I just thought like I was ready and just wanted to, go do something, get in a new environment, and like I said, start my professional career and things like that. But it was at the time it was a blessing. I was happy about it. I don't think when I got drafted, the Rangers. I think I was in Nashville with one of my good buddies actually, and didn't with no family around or anything. Wasn't a celebration, so it was just like kind of like the Kent State thing. It was just like it is what it is, and like wish I
Hmm.
would have enjoyed that moment a lot more and celebrated myself a lot more. Like I said, like it's not a lot of people that can say they got drafted. You know what I mean? So like
Sure.
Hmm.
not understanding and appreciating the moment, man, that I was in. So I wish I would just appreciate it a little more. But like everything happens for a reason, man.
So
Absolutely.
we have a question from one of our longtime listeners, Terry
Okay.
Walker. It's a two-part question.
Okay.
What level are you currently coaching at, and what level of coaching would you like to reach if the good Lord puts you there?
So I'm currently I'm coaching a 14U team. I know there's like major. I don't know like what level, but we're competitive if that makes sense. But so at P413 we have teams all the way up from 8U all the way up to high school. So I'm coaching a 14U team, but I help with the high schools and things like that. Kind of just bouncing back around and like honestly, man, like I enjoy this level that I'm at. I'm trying high school at Dayton Christian this year, but just to see how it goes, just to say that I tried, but I don't think I want to get any higher than like the youth. I just enjoy like the development and spending times and building relationships and seeing a kid grow from like the age of 10 to 17. I take pride in that stuff and things like that. So I think I just want to stay here on the level that I'm at and just try my hardest to get these kids to the highest level that they can get to.
Okay.
Like that. I like that a lot. Um, so when you got into pro ball, I know obviously you had to deal with injuries.
Mhm.
What I mean, like realistically, I know you said that the recovery process is very lonely because it's a totally different animal. I mean, kind of walk us through it. Like, what was that whole journey like for you?
Yeah, so actually the injury started at Vandy. My whole freshman year, I played with a broken elbow.
That's
I
right. Yeah.
wasn't yeah, I wasn't able to touch my shoulder like this the whole year, but I'm like, there's no way. Like you just got this spot. Like you drop down, like it's next man up. Like you might not ever
Yeah.
see this. So like you gotta suck it up and figure it out. So it started there, and then when in pro ball, like it was just unfortunate because like I said, I deal with the injuries at Vandy and it was just some freak accidents like me diving after a ball and like
Hmm.
shoulder tearing my labrum and things like that. And I worked so hard to get back and like I go to slide head first into second and like the bone breaks because of the anchor. It cracked down, and so it was just like freak accidents, and it was just very stressful because I worked so hard and like I just feel like the game of baseball at that point was just like using me. Like I wasn't using it, if that makes sense. So I just felt like depressed and I just over it and overwhelmed and things like that. And like I said, I just wish I was wish I could have found a way to find that joy back in the game and start using it for excitement and stuff again, if that makes sense. So I just felt like the game was just using me. Like the pay wasn't worth it. I'm injured. I'm hurt. I'm going through rehab alone. It was tough, man. It was probably one of the toughest things I had to deal with in my career because it was 2 years out of the three being hurt and things like that. So it was definitely tough.
Gotcha.
So, with all the injuries and things that are going on in your life, at what point did you realize, hey, I have a mental health problem? I need to do something different. I need to seek help. I need somebody to talk to. At what point did you figure that out?
So I think that was my sophomore year in Vandy. I talk about it kind of in my book, but that's when
Hmm.
that was when I was facing like suicidal thoughts and things. I knew like something had to change. I needed some help, but I just didn't know how to get the help and how to ask for help in that situation. So definitely the sophomore year, like going through that whole fail, coming off the freshman year being an All-American and starting the season batting 200. So it was just like that whole year. It was definitely that year where I realized like, all right, like this is bigger than baseball, kid. You're going through some things mentally. You need some help. And I try to, go talk to people where they try to prescribe me with certain medicines. It just wasn't working for me, and it just made me feel worse and things like that. But really didn't know how to seek help at that time. So, but I definitely would say sophomore year at Vandy.
Okay. So does and I ask this because I don't really know the answer to it. Does
Mhm.
Coach Corbin do a lot of things within the program to educate his players about the dangers of mental health and how to seek help if you need it?
I'm not sure what they do now. At the time, I wouldn't say like Corbs really like focused on that specifically, but like we did a lot of things to build up the mindset, and then like we had like Pastor Brown that was doing like devotionals and things and stuff like that. But like there wasn't really anyone that's like really working on the mental side of the game, if that makes
Hmm.
sense. And that's nothing to Corbs or Vanderbilt or anything like that. It's just like something that I just feel like over time people started to do that in the game of baseball and things like that. So like no, not at the time, but like he was doing a great job just building up like the mindset and the mentality and things like that.
Okay.
Okay. I like that. So the title of the show tonight is Purpose in Motion,
Mhm.
because I read that in the book. I was like, man, I've never heard that phrase before. And I was like, man, that really sticks.
Yeah.
So if you can, won't you explain to people watching what purpose in motion actually means?
Yeah. So to me, like purpose is just purpose is living daily what God actions from us, if that makes sense. So every day I'm committed to living for God. Like that purpose can change. Like some days, like it might be you might have to go to, what I mean, you might reach a certain kid. It might be the purpose just to get this kid. The purpose might be a whole group the next day, but like every day I'm living whatever that purpose is. I'm praying and then asking God to show me his purpose for the day. So like every day I'm committed to living in that purpose for God. And emotion to me is just the actions. Like you can't say that, you want to do this and then like your actions aren't lining up to what you want to do. So the emotion to me is just like whatever you're praying for and that purpose, you figure out what is with God. Like we got to put this in motion. Like it's time to, live this, like not just talk about it. So that's what purpose in motion means to me.
So I'm not an expert at a lot of things in life, but I swear to you, you have some kind of merch here with this, because
Uh-huh.
I kid you not, you make like bracelets, whatever for the
Yeah.
players, and you say what you just said, I would run through a brick wall for you. Like
No, yeah,
that's fantastic.
that's
That's good
awesome.
So
We
stuff.
got we got to talk about that. Like that idea you just brought
I'm
up.
just saying, I think you should. That would be fantastic.
Oh
So
I,
yeah.
I want
I
to give
might
you
know a person that'll make him some shirts, right?
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to give you some time here. I have a graphic I made for a promo for your book. It's got also has a
Okay.
QR code, so people watching, if they're watching on their TV, they can scan it with their phone to purchase it. I'm going to put the graphic up, and I'm going to let you have the floor for a minute and just describe the book and why people need to read this story.
Okay.
So here it is.
Yeah. So this is my book, Broken to Build. So just the title to me just was I was really broken and didn't know like the purpose of the brokenness, if that makes sense. But now that I look back, it was just seeing like everything that I went through when I was broken was just building me for the person that I am now. This book is just about my journey that I went through. It just talks about the ups and the downs. It's not about baseball, man. This is about the ups and the downs and finding God when you're down and like think everything's over with, like finding my identity after baseball. Like I've just growing up, it was just Xavier the baseball player. So like that stuck to me, and like that's all I thought I was. That's all I thought that I was capable of being. And like I said, once that was gone, I lost my identity, but like God was building me, and like I found it again. And like life is amazing. So like this book is just about like being down and then going through your journey, but like just watching it build to something amazing and things like that. So like this is a great read. I feel like I've had a lot of people reach out to me about the book, and just really authentic and like things that they can relate to. And I just think it's a great story just for anyone, but especially like a kid that's going through tough times. Like you just never know. Like I had a kid that read the book that's at P413, and he called me. Like he's a 16-year-old kid. He was a sophomore. He led his league in strikeouts. Like great kid, like very talented. Never known, but he just told me like, coach, like before the summer, like basically like he got behind the wheel and he was going through a lot of things that I was talking about and kind of try to end his life and things like that. But by the grace of God, he didn't. So like this book is just a testimony to my life and like the things I went through that I didn't know God was building me to become the man that I am now. So, like I said, I appreciate this, man. I appreciate the QR code, and like I think it's a great read for anyone that's going through something, just to remind them like you are something, you are someone. Like God is not done with you. He's not done with your story. It's never too late. Like just finding him and giving your life to him is just it's just amazing. And it's just amazing the things that he can do when you know that you can't do them by yourself.
Well said. Well said. Because that's seriously a fantastic read. I really, as an unbiased person, I'm not saying just because you're on the show. Like I was telling Chris too, like it's really worth the read. And it doesn't take long to read.
Right.
It's very well
Hmm.
written, and
Thank you.
it's probably one of the most relatable books I've ever read. I love to read any like sports stories. I
Hmm.
like preferably baseball,
Hmm.
and so when I heard about the book, when Chris told me about it, I said, "Well, I'm going to buy it right now." So I did, and very glad that I did because I will read this more than once because it really is that good. So
That
please,
means a lot, brother, man. That means so much, man. Thanks a lot, man. That puts a smile on my face, but like that just does something to my soul. It really means a lot.
absolutely. And anyone that's watching, look in the description. We have posted a link to the book. Just trust me on this one. This is one I 1000% vouch. It is seriously good.
Correct. Uh, like I was telling you before we went live, I've had my own personal struggles with depression. I know where the darkness took me. What is the darkest moment you ever had to go through before you finally got to turn things around and get going in the right direction?
Oh, that's a great question. If I had to choose one, it's a lot of moments, man, that were very dark. But I think the darkest one has to be Omaha. Like that
Okay.
really that crushed me. Yeah, like I still get emotional about it still to this day. But like
Hmm.
yeah, that was the darkest. I just thought life was going to end after that, man. I just really hit rock bottom. Sorry, getting a little emotional, but yeah. So yeah, Omaha was definitely, but I just really hit rock bottom after that, and I worked so hard, to get to that point. to get to Omaha, and then you see your teammates like you're grinding for hours and things like that. And but yeah, that for sure probably was the darkest moment in my life for sure.
Okay.
So I don't like to end shows on a sad note. So, 'cause I can't do that.
Oh, Cody,
So,
we're gonna get some food in here before we let
oh,
him go,
I
right?
know, I know, I know. But I want to. But so I want to lead into this part. Through everything you went through, describe your journey to getting with P413. Let's hear it.
Yeah, man. So actually, one of the owners, his name's Doug Adams. Like he's known me since I was 8 years old. They had a Canes baseball, and we had the Sandusky Travelers, like I talked about. My dad created a team, but we used to bump heads. We used to play them a lot. So Doug's known me for a long time, and like I went back up to Ohio maybe like 2 years ago to Sandusky. I mean, and I tried to do some baseball stuff up there, but it just didn't
Hmm.
work out. It wasn't the calling God sent for me. And Doug came up there and had a tournament, and like I talked to Doug, like, man, what's going on? And like he told me about the stuff that he had down here. I started doing camps and stuff, but it's like this place is a blessing, man. They have like a lot of great families and great kids and things. So I just started being around the environment and just like this is a no-brainer for me. Like I have to get down here, and just the opportunities that he had and then created for me, him, Marty, and Zach. Those are the three owners. But the opportunities that they just created for myself, man, it was just a no-brainer for me to get in that environment because it was they didn't care about. I'm not gonna say they didn't care, but it wasn't about Xavier the baseball player. They cared about Xavier the person. Like that
Hmm.
already was different from any over the 8 years that I've been. I've been down in Nashville, Cincinnati, a lot of different places trying to do baseball, but it was never Xavier the person. So that already stood out. And that was a no-brainer for me. Like I had to be in this environment. And then like you say, like P413 to God, I didn't understand like what does God have to do with baseball and things, but like just being in that environment and things like that is just starting to open me up, man, and making me a better man. Like honestly, they really care about me as a man, as a person, my kids and things like that. So like it's really a family base, and I haven't felt that since Vanderbilt. So it was just like I had to be in that
Hmm.
environment.
That's fantastic.
Okay. You mentioned your faith a lot.
Mhm.
Um, without getting too deep into religion, at what
It's like Chris froze on us. I knew it was going to happen. So he may have to recover, and that is perfectly fine because he'll
point
probably
in
be
your
midway through.
life?
There it goes.
There he is.
Hey, Chris, buddy,
Okay, I'm back.
you're freezing. All right, start over.
So, without getting too deep into religion, at what point in your life did you realize that you have to have a personal relationship with Christ and that you have to nurture that on a daily basis? Talk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, so it was actually when I was down in Nashville. I'm not sure the exact year, maybe 2020, 2021, but I was doing some things with a real good friend of mine with the baseball side, and like it went completely left. Like I moved from Cincinnati to go down to Nashville. I'm sorry because of him, and didn't have a backup plan, and like after that went left, like I just didn't like it just went bad and like I had no choice but to rely on God. Like that's when I
Hmm.
realized like, all right, you can't do this alone anymore. Like you don't have any answers. Like who else do I go to? And like when I say like I went to God and when I say like my life was just like immediately got amazing and better, like it was just like all right, like I didn't do this. Like I'm not talking like Corbs didn't do this or you know what I mean? Nobody like it, it's just God. So like that was the moment when I was like, okay, like he's real. Like this is really happening. Like
Hmm.
there's no way like I was too hurt and broken to even imagine or think about like what was going on. I didn't have a plan, like I was saying. So like that right there just really opened my mind. Like I knew God was real, but like I want to know more. Like I want to build this relationship with God, like and get to know even more about him and see what other amazing blessings, he has for me and things like that.
Hmm.
Well said. Very well said.
So, I mentioned we're going to get to food at some point. So, me and Cody like to eat. We're food
Same.
guys, right?
Same here, yeah.
So, so me and Cody are coming over to your home to
Okay.
eat to break bread, right?
Okay.
Are you ordering out or are you cooking?
I'm
And
ordering.
And what's on the menu?
I'm ordering out for sure. I'm ordering out for sure, but we can make a mutual decision on what's for dinner, what we're gonna order. But yeah, I'm definitely ordering out unless you want some air fried chicken wings and fries.
I'm playing with that. Just throw that
Break out the grill, and Cody can teach you how to make some steaks, right?
Yeah, something, man. Yeah. Teach me something, brother. I'm always open to learning, man.
got you. I got you on that. That's funny. So I mean, like, all right. So speaking of food, then what's your like? Did you have like a pregame like go-to meal?
Yeah, Chipotle.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So what's your
Chipotle.
Chipotle? What would you get?
Uh, Brown rice, chicken, cheese, and corn. That's it, brother.
That's exactly what I ordered. I'm not even
Really?
exaggerating.
Really?
No, I don't add
Keep it
anything
simple.
besides that. Yes.
No, yeah, keep it simple, man. I used to get the
Absolutely.
sour cream, but like the hand got started being heavy and sour cream was all over the bowl. I'm like, just
Yeah.
keep that off. Like, I'll be
Yeah.
fine without that. But yeah, though, man, Chipotle, keep it simple. I like to eat the same thing. I like to do the same routine. I was superstitious, so like I had to do the same routine no matter what. Same time, I try to stay on the
Hmm.
same schedule and everything.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
So, our friend Terry says he can come
Okay.
up with a burger idea. So Terry, yes, do that. We're going to call it the Broken to Built Burger. Get that done real quick and put it in here, and we'll share it with you.
I like
Yeah. So
that.
every episode we have, Terry comes up with some kind of burger idea. Like this man is a
Okay.
food wizard, and so
Uh-huh.
I'm thrilled on this one. This one will actually be pretty fun.
No, yeah.
So that'll be cool. So let me ask you this though. Okay, obviously you're coaching now, but you still got it.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Man, I had to humble a couple of kids here, man. A kid was throwing like 80, low 80s and thought he can throw it by me. Got in the batter's box first pitch, probably hit him about 560.
I love it. So actually, yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing I took from your book too is that you wanted to be a two-way player. How did Vanderbilt sway you to come and not be a two-way player?
Oh, so I didn't necessarily want to be a two-way player, but when I went out with the Canes my junior summer, I was just doing everything. So I was pitching and stuff too. But so there was a lot of schools like low mid major schools like East Carolina and stuff. They wanted me to do two-way. So but Vandy, the bigger schools were all about just like my glove and my bat. But like it was I had elbow problems. So like I told you, I broke my elbow,
Yeah,
but it started in freshman year in high school with like growth plates and things like that.
I
So
gotcha.
I know I didn't want to pitch or anything like that, but I had a special
Mhm.
arm. I think I was in low to mid 90s and things like that. But I was a thrower, I wasn't a pitcher, so I knew I wasn't gonna go
Yeah.
do that with the arm problems and things like that.
I mean,
Mhm.
the fact that you're having arm issues and still hitting in the 90s is kind of scary to think about,
Yeah,
actually.
no,
Yeah.
definitely, yeah, for sure.
Goodness gracious. Whew. I
So
wish I could do that.
let's talk about the current game. Do you still follow college baseball?
Yeah, I love it. I love
And
it,
if you
man.
do you have a player on your watch list that you want to see play this year?
So I'm not really. I haven't this last year. I wasn't really watching much, but I'm always gonna tune in and watch Vandy. But I don't really have a player. Just kind of just like watching good baseball. I think they just play it at the right level. So I just want to see clean baseball being played. Try to watch games with like kids. Though I love the college game because I feel like you can see a lot more versus like
Mhm.
MLB games with cameras, so you can really break things down and like those kids are still hungry and trying to get to a level. So I just feel like I more so watch just to teach and still learn. You know what I mean? Learn things like hitting like how kids are doing things and stuff like that, so I can kind of put it in my plan for the kids that I'm training and give them certain things and stuff like that. So no, I don't really have a player, but I'm always going to be a Commodore, man. So like I'm just ready to see them do great things. I think with the NIL, man, it's just been kind of hard for me to really watch the game because I know like that wasn't that, and like recruiting classes and stuff is not to me like wasn't as big as it was when I was in college and stuff. And I know Vandy does, we take pride in things like that. So it's kind of tough with the NIL and like the whole transfer portal and things like that. But just praying that, that they can get that under control and we can get back to some competitive, baseball and not running when things get hard. You know what I mean? I could have went to the portal when got suspended and stuff, but like I didn't want to run away from, a challenging competition. So, just
Mhm.
hopefully that gets back to that, or Vandy can do more, things to keep up with these state schools and things like that in the NIL. But so just like I'm always a Commodore, but I'm excited to watch some college baseball this year.
So,
Do
in
you?
saying that you're always a Commodore,
Yeah.
with the teams that you're coaching in Ohio, have you made it clear that they don't wear orange?
They know that. Yeah, we don't do that. We do not. I was gonna say something to you guys about having that black and orange in the intro video. Like I seen Vols on there, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
yeah, we
So
know that for a fact, man. I actually made the kid turn his shirt inside out during a practice because he had Tennessee on.
I
I was
like
getting
that.
tired of seeing it, and it was
Okay.
making my head hurt.
Hey, I get that though for sure. So, do you still dislike Ole Miss?
Oh yes,
I
yeah, for
respect that.
sure.
I
No,
respect
Okay.
yeah,
that.
definitely. Yeah. It's there's no love at all with
How
Ole
did you?
Miss.
How were you held back from not jumping into that dugout?
One of their coaches came, so like they're on the third base dugout and we're on the first base side. In between innings, by the way, we swept them, by the way, on their field. But so I think one of their third base coach, I don't know if that was their head coach or not, but he stepped in between. But like I literally walked all the way over to the dugout where I forget his name was Tanner English maybe, or I forget what his name was. It was their left fielder
Okay.
at
Okay.
at the time. Yeah, but like so he was sitting on a bench and I literally, but one of the coaches stopped it and then kind of went from there. But it's a
Man.
fun moment, brother.
Yeah. Hey. To
Hmm.
be fair, I've never liked Ole Miss, so if you would have
No,
jumped in
yeah.
there, we'd have had your back. That's for
No, yeah,
sure.
for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
So,
Man.
do you want to share the broken to built burger?
Let's do it. All right. The broken to built burger would be an onion hamburger bun topped with a Nashville hot chicken patty, topped with pierogies with potato and cheddar from Ohio, some dill pickle chips with Cincinnati chili cheese fries on the side.
Oh wow, that's going crazy. I
Woo!
like that. That's creative right there.
That'd be
Okay.
a weight gainer right there. My goodness.
Yeah, for sure.
Man.
Yeah, that's the creative one right there.
That sounds tasty.
Yeah, it does.
Absolutely. So let me ask you, are you big on social media? And if so, where can people find you?
So I'm trying to get better with the social media, but I do have a Facebook, Instagram, just Xavier Turner. My Instagram is underscore Xavier Turner. I think that's all I have actually, man.
Okay.
So yeah, just those two things. Yeah, so I'm not really, man. I'm just really a low profile person. I like to just grind and stay behind the scenes. So I kind of want to get into like, not kind of, but I would love to get into player development where I'm not seen from coaching. It's just like the players are going out there and letting the work speak for itself. So that's kind of just how I am as a person and thing. But I'm
Sure.
trying to get better with the social media and things like that.
Well, I can tell you this, and this offer will always stand. If you ever need any kind of graphics or assistance with social media, reach out. We got you. I
No,
promise.
yeah, definitely. Oh,
Mhm.
awesome. I appreciate that a lot. I'll definitely do so though, man. No, I appreciate that.
But yeah, because I mean, honestly, we want to market the heck out of this book.
Hmm.
So if it's cool with
Mhm.
you, every week we have a show. We're always going to mention the book.
No, yeah, that's
So
fine with me, man. Yeah,
Mhm.
like I'm truly grateful, man. Like whatever it is I can do to help out, or you guys feel like you can do to help out, like, just please feel free to let me know. And like I said, I'm open to anything, man.
absolutely, that
Mhm.
sounds good. I'll probably put together a little commercial for you. Then take the where you describe the book. I'm going to take that
Yeah.
clip and then put some of your highlights over it. Then have the picture of the book flash in so they know where to
Okay.
get it from. And I got you. I'll make that happen.
No, yeah, I appreciate that, man. Thanks,
For
bro.
sure, for sure, for sure. I mean, it needs to get out there because it's seriously like it's one of those books
Mhm.
where I'm like, yeah, that's a very good read. So
No, thank you a lot, man. Like it,
Yep.
it took a lot of time and energy. I wanted to give up plenty of times, like probably like over a 5 6 month span where I was really working hard and just just getting to that point where where that other person is talking in your head like this is not worth it, but like just keeping that faith in God just got me through it, man. So I'm just truly like blessed and grateful that I'm able to tell this story, man, and reach people in ways that I never would have imagined that I was able to.
Absolutely. I
Mhm.
mean, because when you're reading it, you can tell where it got hard for you to talk about. You can
Yeah.
definitely read that, and it's like, man, like, so I'm
Mhm.
honestly, I'm grateful that you actually released the story because not everybody's going to do that. Because
No,
I know
yeah.
I know that's not easy to do. And I'm sure when
Right.
that book was being published, you probably had second thoughts on it. You're like,
Yeah, I definitely did, for
do I want
sure.
this out there? You know, because I mean,
No, yeah.
honestly, when all this stuff happened with nobody knew what was actually going on. It wasn't
Right.
publicly shared, which that's a good thing that I think that it wasn't because
No,
that
yeah.
I think
So
that would have hurt you
There,
even more.
there
no,
were
yeah.
I don't know if you were aware of it. There were so many different rumors
So
about
many different things,
why you
man.
got sent home from Omaha.
I heard
What?
so many.
So funny story. I grew up in Southwest Iowa, about an hour away from Omaha. So
Okay.
I'm aware of the casinos and everything.
Mhm.
And one of the stories that was out there, I believed it for so long until I read your story that you had bet on a World Cup soccer game at a casino and betting was illegal. That's what I thought happened for years.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
It's crazy the stories that were out there.
Yeah, that's funny, man. Yeah, I've heard so many crazy stories, but it's just like it just makes me laugh. You know what I mean? Because like no one really knows, and like that's just how I'm just giving it to God, man. Like God knows. Like that's how I am, even with
Hmm.
anything in life now. Like I can care less what outsiders are saying. Like if you know me, you know who I am as a person, and like if you
Hmm.
don't, like God knows. Like that's all that matters to me. The things and just like even my own mom, like she didn't know everything. So she read the book, and of course it made her emotional. But you know what I mean? So there's a lot of people that really didn't know. And like I don't fault anyone. It was just me just doing what I thought was best, like keeping everything in and bundling it all up. I just at the time I just felt the most comfortable for myself, if that makes sense. And then for any like kid that's listening to this, man, like that is not the best thing to do, man. Like find somebody, man. Like even if it's just talking to God, like I learned that you can just talk to God, like you just like we're talking right now, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it doesn't have to be a certain way that you're talking to God, but like just getting it off your chest and like just venting, like, you know what I mean, yelling, whatever it is, man. But like, dude, do not hold it in.
Hmm.
Young men and young women and things like that, especially just going through like sports and stuff. Like, find an outlet, find one person you trust that you can vent to, and if you can't find anyone, talk to God. This is just how you would talk to your friend. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Amen. Amen.
So I'm actually a big advocate of mental health awareness and things of that nature. The 988 suicide prevention hotline. Um, of course, if anybody out there is watching, needs somebody to talk to, my inbox is open. I'm sure Cody's is open. Are you open to doing stuff like that as well?
Yes, sir, definitely, yes, sir,
I
Okay.
love it. I
yes,
love
sir.
it.
Yep.
Well, man, this has been an absolute treat. I think we're gonna have to have you on again. I think
No,
because
definitely. I love this, man. This is awesome. Like,
yeah,
this is very comfortable. Like, you
yeah,
guys are amazing. This is my, like, when you reached out or whatever, like, I started looking more into the podcast, but you guys do an amazing job. Like I said, if there's anything I can ever do to help out with anything, man. Like I was telling you guys before we got on here, like, I'm open. I try to do my best to
Hmm.
let everyone know, like, I'm normal. Like, please feel free to reach out. Like, I'll try my hardest to reach back out to you. I'm not the best communicator and texter, but like I promise you, I'll try my hardest to make you feel like you're important because you are. Like that goes for anybody.
Hmm.
absolutely. I mean, I think I personally I would like to have you on to kind of talk some ball later on in the
Yeah.
season as it gets going. I
No,
think that would just
definitely.
be it'd be fun to just hear your analysis on like what's happening in the game and
No,
all that.
definitely. I would love
So
Hmm.
that. Yeah,
yeah,
I would love
I think
that,
it'd be a lot
man.
of fun. Absolutely. So with
Okay.
that being said, though, if you're watching, please go check the link out in our bio right now. Purchase the book. Let us know what you think about it. Please leave a positive review on Amazon. I'm going to leave mine now that I've finished it. I can't wait. And yeah, so that being said, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Um, we will definitely be in touch with you going forward because, dude, you earned a fan for life from us.
Thank
Seriously,
you.
it's been a
And,
blast talking with you.
Thanks, man.
and Terry Walker has become a fan too. He says, thank you for being a great example for the younger kids.
Thank you, man. That's my. I feel like I'm finally stepping into my purpose. So like that's my purpose. That's why I'm here, man. So like, thank you guys again. Thank you to everyone that was watching, and thank you for having me on this platform. Thank you for being the first platform to reach out about my book, man. And like, thank you for just giving me opportunities and feeling comfortable to do this. Like, you guys are. This is amazing, man. I like it. It's truly a blessing. Like, you guys are truly blessed. And again, thank you, everyone.
Man, we appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
With that being said, everybody, we hope you guys have a great night. Thank you for watching the Golden Broom. And we'll see you next time. Let me get to my closeout video because that's the part that I have not set up yet. There it is.
Turn it up. First pitch. Let's go.